Chapter 7. The Large Building. I take a few steps towards the building, maybe more subconsciously as if to focus on the thought I was trying to make. With that, I was able to think more clearly. Nobody ever seems to be happy with peace, meaning they aren't happy with the way things are. They always think they can make things better. This is partially because others, nearly immediately, who were prior abusing wars for gains, begin to abuse peace for their own gains. People can see it for what it is eventually, so in a way, life is like this building with the triangle logo. With that thought, there's more rustling nearby. It sounded like something smaller than before, thankfully. I remember being unconcerned with the small rustle of leaves nearby, assuming it was a squirrel or some such nesting animal, as there wasn't any wind that night. That was nice because I would have been really cold, all things considered. I took the opportunity to look around and realized that the direction I was going only had a few buildings left that appeared to have power. This startled me as I had been checking out the buildings, and I looked behind me and noticed that the lights, all of the lights, were off a block behind me as well. The few buildings on this block that would have had power due to normal business routine still had power, and the streetlights had power, but obviously at this rate it wasn't going to be much longer. I had to find some place where I could reasonably hold out until whatever this was could pass. The shops with power would have alarms, and those were people's businesses. I wasn't going to damage them to survive when those people would have to incur the situation the next morning due to my lack of planning. That wasn't fair to those people who were somehow able to survive the gentrification, the minimum wage hikes, the crippling taxes, the moves overseas, free trade zones, union insanity, and all the other ridiculousness that did everything but actually create jobs. I needed to find something that was fair and low impact that was actually going to work. I wasn't going to damage a working building no matter what this night put me through. I carefully scooted as close to the triangle logo building as I could with my natural night vision. I did that to make sure nobody saw me and so I wouldn't alert anyone that may be nearby. I got about 10 feet and heard something shuffle from a shrub to another shrub behind me, and so I smirked to myself. I was thinking that animals were so funny and this was probably a game to some critter. Oh well, I was simply glad it was having fun, probably playing the animal equivalent of Ninja Stalker or something. As it got even darker, my night vision got even better at this point. I thought to myself that there was no moon out at all. Where was it? What are those called, new moons? I have no idea. Suffice it to say, if there was a new moon or young moon or whatever, it was so low in the sky or was behind a mountain or a thick layer of clouds. Whatever it was useless to me, and I know it was being overcast tonight wasn't helping either. I was thinking about this and letting my night vision get better, and decided to shove my second energy bar in my mouth, so that's exactly what I did. With as little noise as possible, I got the bar out, tore it open, and shoved half of it in my mouth. I tried to chew the bar enough to where I wouldn't get the hiccups, since I knew I couldn't drink from the unfamiliar new water bottles in the darkness. After several minutes of being sure I was going to hold the energy bar down properly without hiccuping, I shoved in the second half. Then I crumpled up the wrapper and stuck it in my pocket so I could hopefully find a garbage can later. At this point, my night vision was surprisingly good enough to where I could vaguely make out the walls and could make my way to the side of the building. There was no way I was going in front for a myriad of reasons. Some explanations will have to be saved for another day. Suffice it to say, the front of the building is the most secure, so let's leave it at that for now. I know this because I used to test the security of buildings and other things. Anyway, moving on.